Before you speak another word, before you take another step, listen, because there are words older than time, yet alive enough to transform your life in this very moment. Let your heart not be troubled. Let your heart not be troubled. These words are simple, yet they carry a weight far greater than mountains. They are not mere advice. They are a lifeline thrown to a soul drowning in the storm of life. The heart often becomes a battlefield where fear, doubt, and sorrow wage unending war. Yet these words are a gentle command that invites you to lay down your arms and breathe. In moments when life seems unbearable, when the world presses heavily upon your shoulders and the night feels impossible long, these words remind you that peace is not something to be found outside, but something to be awakened inside. Do not let your heart be troubled, for the troubles of the world are many, but the strength offered through faith and trust is infinite. When sorrow comes, as it inevitably does, it is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of understanding, the beginning of transformation. The heart that listens to these words is a heart that refuses to surrender to despair. It is a heart that recognizes that no pain is permanent and no shadow can last forever. Like a lighthouse in a storm, these words guide the lost to safety, offer warmth and clarity when confusion and fear seek to overwhelm. Consider the weight of worry and anxiety. It is heavy, pressing down upon your chest, stealing your joy and clouding your vision. These words act like a balm, soothing the unrest and offering relief. To let your heart not be troubled is not to deny the challenges you face, but to confront them with a renewed sense of courage and faith. It is an invitation to release control, to trust that life's unseen hand is guiding you even when the path is unclear. In the quiet moments of reflection, when fear threatens to dominate, repeating these words is like drawing air into lungs that have been constricted by tension, filling the spirit with a calm that cannot be shaken by circumstance. Let your heart not be troubled, for there is a power in surrender that the world does not understand. The heart that surrenders to trust does not become weak. It becomes alive. If it becomes capable of seeing possibilities where before there was only despair, it becomes resilient, able to endure trials without breaking. The mind that embraces these words finds clarity amid confusion, and the spirit that holds them finds strength amid weakness. Fear may knock at the door, yet it will not find a place to dwell, for the heart has been fortified with a truth older than time. In times of loss, in moments of failure, in the quiet hours when loneliness presses like a shadow, let your heart not be troubled. Understand that suffering is part of the journey, but it does not define the destination. Life is not measured only by what is lost or what is feared. It is measured by the courage to move forward, the willingness to love again, the capacity to hope despite hardship. These words are a reminder that peace is possible, even in the midst of chaos, and that joy can return even when sadness has lingered for a season. To let your heart not be troubled is to trust in what cannot always be seen, to believe in what cannot always be held. It is to anchor your soul in the certainty of love that never abandons, guidance that never falters, and a presence that walks with you through every dark valley. When your mind is restless and your spirit weary, repeat these words as a mantra, a gentle insistent. That peace is your birthright, that courage is your companion, and that hope is alive within you. They are not empty words. They are a lifeline to the part of you that has been hidden under layers of fear, a call to awaken to the possibility of life lived with faith, serenity, and grace. Even when the storms rage on, let your heart not be troubled, for calm resides not in circumstances, but in the choice to trust. Each heartbeat becomes a reminder that you are supported, that you are never truly alone, that the unseen hand of love moves in ways beyond your understanding. The heart that heeds these words grows in resilience and wisdom, learning that trials are temporary, that darkness is fleeting, and that peace can flourish even in the midst of struggle. These words are an offering of freedom, an invitation to step out of anxiety and into assurance, from despair into hope, from fear into courage. Let your heart not be troubled, for it is in the stillness of the heart that the spirit finds clarity. It is here, in quiet trust, that the soul discovers strength beyond the reach of worldly worries. It is here that peace becomes tangible, joy becomes real, and love becomes a guiding force through every challenge faced and every shadow endured. Love one another as you have been loved. Love one another as you have been loved. These words hold a power that surpasses the boundaries of time, culture, and circumstance. They are not mere suggestions. They are a call to action, a guide for the heart that seeks purpose and the soul that longs for connection. To love in this way is to recognize that love is not only a feeling, but a force, an energy that moves the world, that heals what is broken, and that transforms even the most hardened hearts. It is not passive. It is not conditional. It is not measured by what is convenient or easy. It is a deliberate choice, a conscious act that mirrors the love that has been poured into you without condition, without hesitation, and without expectation. To love one another as you have been loved is to see beyond the surface, to look past faults, flaws, and mistakes, and to find the essence of what is good, beautiful, and worthy in every soul. It is to recognize that every person carries burdens unseen, battle, fought in silence, and wounds that are not visible to the eye. Love becomes a bridge between hearts, a balm for sorrow, and a light in the darkness, It teaches patience when the world demands haste, gentleness when anger seeks to rise, and forgiveness when pride whispers that grudges are deserved. In loving as you have been loved, you step into a rhythm greater than yourself, a flow of compassion that has the power to mend, restore, and renew. Consider how often the world rewards selfishness, ambition, and the pursuit of personal gain. Yet these words call for a different path, a higher standard. To love one another as you have been loved is to reject the noise of resentment and the call of revenge, choosing instead the path of empathy and understanding. It is not always easy. It does not always bring immediate recognition or reward. Yet in this love, there is an unseen strength that grows quietly, steadily, and powerfully. Like a tree planted by water, it flourishes even in seasons of drought. It stands firm against storms, and it bears fruit that nourish others for generations to come. Love one another as you have been loved, and understand that true love is active. It is not enough to speak words or feel emotion. Love manifests in deeds, in sacrifice made, in patience extended, and in the courage to serve without expectation. It is seen in acts of kindness that go unnoticed, in generosity that costs nothing but time and intention, in compassion offered to those who cannot repay it. In this way, love becomes a force of creation, shaping the world not through power or authority, but through the quiet, persistent influence of a heart aligned with truth. These words also teach that love is transformative. To love in this way is to allow your own heart to change, to soften, to expand beyond the limits of fear and self-interest. It calls you to rise above judgment and bitterness, to see the divine spark in others as clearly as you see it in yourself. When practiced consistently, this love has the power to heal broken families, restore shattered friendships, and mend communities torn apart by anger and division. It is a love that insists on unity, that builds bridges where walls have been erected, and that finds connection to places others have given up on seeing hope. Love one another as you have been loved, and in doing so, recognize the depth of the love you have received. You have been loved freely, without merit, without conditions, and without boundaries. This love has sustained you, guided you, and uplifted you even in your darkest moments. To reflect this love outward is not a burden, but a privilege, a way of passing on the grace that has been extended to you. Every act of love, no matter how small, carries the potential to ripple outward, touching lives in ways you cannot foresee, igniting hope in hearts that have forgotten how to dream, and reminding the world that kindness still matters. When the heart embraces these words, life begins to shift in subtle yet profound ways. Relationships deepen, understanding grows, and conflicts dissolve not through force, but through the quiet power of empathy. Love becomes a language that transcends barriers, a light that pierces darkness, and a strength that endures through trials. It is the heartbeat of humanity, the essence of true connection, and the path to a life that is rich not in material wealth, but in meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Love one another as you have been loved, for in doing so, you participate in a force that is eternal, unshakable, and transformative. It is a force that turns fear into courage, despair into hope, and division into unity. It is the way to live fully, to serve generously, and to leave a mark upon the world that endures beyond time. Ask, and you will receive. Ask, and you will receive. These words are not a simple promise, but a profound invitation to engage with life in a way that is fearless, intentional, and full of hope. They call to the part of you that has grown weary of silence, the part that longs for answers, clarity, and breakthrough. Asking is not a sign of weakness, but a declaration of trust. It is an acknowledgement that you are not meant to walk alone, that the universe is not indifferent to your needs, and that the act of seeking is a step toward transformation. When you ask, you open the door to possibility. And even before the answer comes, your heart begins to align with the truth that you are heard, you are seen, and you are valued beyond measure. To ask is to admit that you do not have all the answers, that your own strength is limited, and that the journey of life is meant to be shared with forces greater than yourself. It is an act of humility, yet it carries power. For in asking, you are acknowledging that life is not only about enduring, but about participating in a dialogue with the unseen, the eternal, and the infinite. When your voice rises in sincere request, it is not lost to emptiness. It travels to the heights, the touching realms of wisdom, provision, and grace that are always ready to respond. The heart that asks truly and fully is a heart that has recognized its own need for guidance, its own longing for support, and its own yearning for change. Ask and you will receive, because the act of asking transforms the asker. It shifts your perspective from passivity to engagement, from despair to expectation, and from fear to hope. When you ask with sincerity, your mind becomes alert to opportunities that were once invisible. Your eyes begin to notice the small gifts that life continually provides, the subtle signs that point the way, and the unexpected moments of grace that arrive when least expected. Asking is the key that opens doors not only to tangible blessings, but also to wisdom, courage, and clarity. It is the heartbeat of faith and action, a tangible demonstration that belief is not only internal, but expressed outwardly. Consider the courage required to ask. It is not always easy to voice your desires, needs, and prayers. Vulnerability is demanded, and pride may resist. Yet these words remind you that nothing worth receiving comes from timidity or fear. Asking is an act of boldness, a step into a space where miracles, guidance, and transformation can unfold. When you ask, you align yourself with the rhythm of life, with the unseen forces that respond to those who seek with a heart of authenticity, and with the truth that provision is available to those willing to reach out and receive it. Ask, and you will receive. And understand that receiving does not always come in the form expected. The answer may not arrive immediately, and it may not appear in the shape or form you imagined. Sometimes it comes as wisdom, as a change in perspective, as strength where weakness once lived, or as courage where fear has held sway. It is a reminder that the universe, in its infinite wisdom, provides not only what is desired, but what is necessary for growth, understanding, and alignment with purpose. The heart that asks with patience and trust discovers that waiting is not wasted time, but the preparation needed for blessings to take root and flourish. These words also carry the promise of persistence. Asking is not a single act, but a continual practice of engagement, seeking, and knocking. Each request, spoken with sincerity, builds a foundation of faith, resilience, and expectancy. The process of asking reshapes the asker, molding them into someone who recognizes their own worth, understands the value of persistence, and develops the courage to pursue the life that has been envisioned for them. The world may offer resistance and circumstances may challenge, but the heart that continues to ask does so with an inner knowing that every plea, every desire, and every longing is seen and heard, and that the unfolding of life honors those who reach with intention and hope. Ask, and you will receive, and in this asking, discover the intimacy of connection. Your voice is heard by forces greater than comprehension, and your intention is recognized as sacred. The act of asking nurtures faith, strengthens resolve, and awakens a recognition that life is not a series of random events, but a tapestry woven with purpose, care, and love. When you ask, you step into alignment with the currents of abundance, the pathways of provision, and the unfolding of destiny. Your heart becomes attuned to receiving, your mind opens to understanding, and your spirit becomes capable of recognizing blessings in forms both expected and unexpected. Ask, and you will receive. For in asking, you honor the potential within yourself to grow, to be transformed, and to participate fully in the unfolding of life. It is a call to action, a reminder of connection, and a declaration of trust that the unseen works with those who dare to seek.